What are the non-obvious signs of a smart person? Nuance in their understanding of things. They acknowledge areas where they lack knowledge. Talking to a dumb person will make you feel smart. Talking to a smart person will make you feel dumb. Talking to a very smart person will make you feel smart. They tend to be, at least in my experience. I don't know if that really falls under smart or more of a wise trait. Being able to acknowledge when they're wrong. The problem with the world is that the intelligent people are full of doubts, while the stupid ones are full of confidence. Charles Bukowski. The ability to see both sides of the coin rather than just one side. They won't argue with stupid people. Even if they know they're right, they won't do it. They realize not everyone is smart the same way. Your stupid hick neighbor might have dropped out of school in 8th grade, but he can drive your car once and tell you exactly what's wrong, then fix it. That asshole in school that had no empathy for anyone and showed no emotion made that sci-fi shit you thought would never be real. Yeah, she's dingy and her worldview is tiny, but she's the best teacher you've ever met and inspires tons of kids to go on and do great things with themselves. There's no one-size-fits-all answer here really. I feel like I can't think of an answer for this one without immediately thinking of multiple contradictory examples. I've spent my entire adult life in academia, and there really isn't a unifying characteristic of all of the highly successful people I have met. I suppose if I were trying to get a sense of someone in an interview setting, I would look for evidence of active listening and ability to ask critical questions on the fly. That said, I know some pretty smart people who are perpetually distracted listeners. I think that's because our definition of smart is so nebulous. Is being smart about knowing lots of things? Is it about being a good learner, or a quick learner? Do smart people have innate talent, or have they worked for years to achieve their success? Is having academic intelligence smart? What about emotional intelligence? You might call someone who can memorize things quickly smart, but you'd also call someone who can work out problems quickly smart. It's smart to take a long time to figure out a clever solution to the same problem. Does studying make you smart? Take 2 straight A students. One studies for hours, and the other is able to pick up subject material quickly in class with little supplemental work. Which one is smarter? I think smart is a catch-all word for describing a lot of different mental states and dispositions, but, especially during grade school, it's reduced down to certain kinds of success. Pattern recognition. Part of the reason smart people throughout history are well known is because they discovered something new and figured out how to maximize its potential. Darwin was a guy who discovered a bunch of islands with slightly different animals. He then collected and analyzed that data to come up with a theory of evolution, which was largely correct. Einstein's theory of relativity was based off of his observation that physics acted on everything equally. He figured out that exceptions were because of the way high-speed objects interact with the universe's speed limit, the speed of light. He recognized these exceptions by gathering them and recognizing the pattern between them all, then created his theory of relativity based on that. I'd say that the faster and or deeper a person can recognize patterns, the smarter they are. Don't get caught up in unnecessary arguments. They know how to explain concepts on just about any level, tailoring that level to their intended audience, and without coming across as condescending in any way. Non-obvious sign, I would have to say emotional intelligence. Most people picture a smart person being like the typical movies nerd that is really smart at everything except social interactions or flirting, but that's not the case. Really smart people can also pick up on social cues faster and better than regular people. Take Richard Feynman for example. He was really smart but was also very sociable. They walk a lot, I've noticed. They know when to talk and when to listen. Lateral thinking. The ability to think about some subject and then switch gears effortlessly into some other subject and keep them tied together in some way. This can lead to some ambling conversations, but that's always fascinating. If we say smart as in creative, some of the folks I've worked with will in a conversation work through the pros and cons, and explore, or be able to explore, ideas in some depth with just the conversation, as opposed to doing next steps. They dive right in and want to get to something cool, and they can do so beyond some bullshit surface level conversation. This is amazing when you take a smart person from another field and explain your problem to them. Oftentimes they will have some tried and true method that they can offer up that's novel to you because your discipline, experience is sufficiently different from theirs. If we talk about real nuggets of gold, this would be among them. Not usually very assertive on sometimes their areas of expertise. I can't tell you how many times I've worked with super smart people who know some subject matter cold, and will let some lesser opinion take hold because they didn't assert themselves. I've seen people leave firms rather than have to deal with some bad manager or coworker who had less good ideas but who was more vocal about them. So often really smart people will take some non-trivial measure of joy in work which most other people find ridiculously boring or tedious. They don't boast about their knowledge because they're smart enough to know no one really cares. Self-critical and humorous, self-irony. They usually don't scream when they talk. They don't start physical fights. They stop arguing when they realize that someone is desperately dumb. They learn from their mistakes. They don't feel that they're intelligent, whatever that means. Seriously, can anyone give me a proper, personal definition of an intelligent person? Smart, knows the answers, is interested in new things, understands ideas and is receptive. Copies things/ideas accurately. Highly intelligent, never stops questioning everything. Is highly curious, not just interested, and is very good in abstract thinking. Is highly critical of him or herself and others and is intense. Creates new things/ideas, etc. Thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe.